There is a planet ruled by a being of utter evil.
Change your life completely forever.
They may be from outer space.
Hey, movie buffs! Welcome back to Nostalgia Area. Today, we're taking a wild ride through the absurd and baffling cinematic landscape of the 1980s. This was a decade where creativity knew no bounds, and filmmakers weren't afraid to take risks, even if it meant producing some of the most outrageous movies ever made. From bizarre plots to questionable special effects, these films will have you scratching your head in disbelief. So let's pop some popcorn and dive into the most absurd movies from the 80s that you won't believe were ever made. First up, we have the Garbage Pail Kids movie, a film based on the controversial trading card series of the same name. This movie follows the antics of a group of grotesque, mischievous characters who escape from a garbage pail. The film's plot is as nonsensical as its characters, featuring scenes that range from bizarre to downright disturbing. Despite its attempt at humor, the movie was a critical and commercial failure, earning a reputation as one of the worst films ever made. Still, its sheer absurdity makes it a must-watch for fans of 80s oddities. Next on our list is Howard the Duck, a film that has baffled audiences for decades. Based on the Marvel Comics character, this movie tells the story of an anthropomorphic duck who is transported to Earth and becomes embroiled in a battle against an evil alien force. The film's mix of adult humor, cringeworthy special effects, and a plot that makes little sense left audiences scratching their heads. Despite its notorious reputation, Howard the Duck has gained a cult following for its sheer absurdity and the bizarre charm of its feathered protagonist. Mac and Me is often remembered as a blatant ripoff of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, but with a level of absurdity that sets it apart. The film follows a young boy who befriends a stranded alien named Mac, leading to a series of outlandish adventures. What makes Mac and Me truly bizarre is its heavy-handed product placement, particularly for McDonald's, which is woven into the plot in the most ridiculous ways. The film's over-the-top antics and cheesy special effects have earned it a spot in the pantheon of so bad it's good cinema. Based on the popular toy line and animated series, Masters of the Universe stars Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, who battles the evil Skeletor in a quest to save the universe. While the source material had a dedicated fan base, the film's execution left much to be desired, with its campy dialogue, low-budget special effects, and a plot that veers wildly from the original cartoon. Masters of the Universe is a prime example of 80s excess. Despite its flaws, the film's sheer audacity and nostalgic charm have made it a cult classic. Although technically released in 1990, Troll 2 embodies the spirit of absurd 80s cinema. This film is infamous for its poor acting, nonsensical plot, and laughable special effects. Despite being titled Troll 2, the movie features goblins, not trolls, who terrorize a family in the town of Nilbog. Yes, that's goblin spelled backward. The film's many absurd moments, including the now iconic "they're eating her and then they're going to eat me" line, have made it a beloved entry in the so bad it's good genre. Xanadu is a musical fantasy film starring Olivia Newton-John and Gene Kelly that defies all logic and reason. The plot centers around a struggling artist who meets a beautiful muse from Mount Olympus, leading to the creation of a roller disco club. The film's blend of Greek mythology, roller skating, and 80s pop music creates a surreal and often bewildering experience. Despite its initial critical panning, Xanadu has gained a cult following for its kitschy charm and catchy soundtrack. As the title suggests, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is about alien clowns who land on Earth and wreak havoc in a small town. The film's premise alone is absurd, but the execution takes it to another level, with over-the-top performances, bizarre special effects, and a storyline that embraces its ridiculousness. This movie has become a beloved cult classic. The combination of horror and comedy, along with the outlandish clown antics, makes it a truly unique viewing experience. This film is a prime example of 80s eccentricity. The Adventures of Buckaroo Bonsai Across the Eighth Dimension follows the titular character, a rock star neurosurgeon physicist who battles interdimensional aliens with his eclectic team. The film's convoluted plot, quirky characters, and blend of science fiction and rock and roll make it an unforgettable and bewildering ride. Despite its initial box office failure, the movie has garnered a dedicated fan base for its sheer audacity and creativity. Produced by Troma Entertainment, The Toxic Avenger tells the story of a mild-mannered janitor who is transformed into a mutated superhero after falling into a vat of toxic waste. The film is known for its over-the-top violence, dark humor, and campy special effects. While it may not be for the faint of heart, The Toxic Avenger has become a cult favorite for its unapologetic embrace of absurdity and its satirical take on superhero tropes. Earth Girls Are Easy is a sci-fi musical comedy starring Gina Davis, Jeff Goldblum, and Jim Carrey. The film follows three furry aliens who crash land in Los Angeles and undergo makeovers to blend in with humans. The movie's colorful visuals, catchy musical numbers, and quirky humor make it a quintessential 80s experience. While the plot is undeniably absurd, the film's charm and playful spirit have earned it a place in the hearts of fans. Miami Connection is a martial arts film that follows a rock band made up of Taekwondo experts who take on a gang of drug-dealing bikers. The film is filled with over-the-top fight scenes, cheesy dialogue, and a plot that defies logic. Initially dismissed upon release, Miami Connection has since gained a cult following for its unintentional hilarity and enthusiastic, if not entirely skilled, performances. Another film that straddles the line between the 80s and 90s, Samurai Cop, is an action film that has become legendary for its absurdity. The movie follows a police officer who is also a samurai, taking on a deadly gang in Los Angeles. The film's low-budget production, wooden acting, and laughable action sequences make it a prime example of so bad it's good cinema. Space Mutiny is a sci-fi film that takes place on a spaceship under siege from within. The movie is infamous for its poor special effects, recycled footage from other films, and wooden acting. Despite its many flaws, Space Mutiny has become a cult favorite, thanks in part to its feature on the TV show Mystery Science Theater 3000, where it was hilariously riffed. Though technically from the 50s, Robot Monster gained renewed attention in the 80s for its sheer absurdity. The film features an alien monster in a gorilla suit with a space helmet, attempting to destroy humanity. The low-budget production, incoherent plot, and laughable special effects make it a legendary piece of cinematic oddity. Officially titled The Man Who Saves the World, this Turkish film is infamous for its blatant use of footage and music from Star Wars without permission. The result is a disjointed and absurd sci-fi adventure that has to be seen to be believed. The film's nonsensical plot, low-budget effects, and unintentional humor have made it a cult classic. Although released in the late 70s, Deathbed, The Bed That Eats, gained notoriety in the 80s for its ridiculous premise. The film is about a demon-possessed bed that devours anyone who lies on it. The bizarre storyline combined with the low-budget effects makes it one of the most absurd horror films ever made. Jimkata is an action film that combines gymnastics with martial arts. The story follows a gymnast who the government recruits to compete in a deadly game in a fictional country. The film's attempt to merge two entirely different sports results in some truly absurd fight scenes.